hear that, cats? That's real music. And this is old Satchmo telling you to meet me down at the Delta for Dixieland at Disneyland.
This year, Dixieland at Disneyland is greater than ever with 2 nights of fabulous fun, show, and music.
I'm not recording, so if anybody wants to say anything at all,
no, you're not
Won't
tripping
say
me
anything
up
yet.
again. Yeah.
I swear this is not going on your permanent record.
Oh, sure.
Oh, the stuff that this podcast has on me on a permanent record.
Now I'm like Batman. I have a file on each of you.
I bet.
The most incriminating things.
Oh my God. Oh.
I think that might be the intro for the regular show. I might cut this part off and make this the intro for the regular show.
I'm sure we'll say something stupid for that show too, and you'll use that one.
Sure.
It's never stupid. It's endearing. The stuff I pick.
Yeah,
it's endearing.
There you go.
Aloha, passengers. Welcome back to the Grand Circle Tour. Juggle Skipper Jay here with you, and I am with my not one, but two favorite co-hosts. I'm going to go with ladies first, and since George isn't here, I'm going to go with a real lady. Chris, how are you tonight?
I am really well. Thank you very much. I hope you are too.
I am fantastic. 10 months into COVID lockdown, and I still have like 90% of my sanity.
Okay. Well, hey, that's a good thing.
It's a great way to start 2021.
Yes.
But let's hope I didn't get the numbers right. It's 10%, but I'm going to say 90. And Dan, how are you tonight?
Hey Jay, how's it going today?
I am.
Yeah, I was going to say I am looking forward to hanging out with you two. This is a little different type of show for me, but I'm very excited to be a part.
You know what? We haven't been in the music shop in a long time, thanks to COVID, and we're glad you're here. We're gonna just do what we always do. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna browse through records and talk some musical smack. But this time we are talking about, and I kid you not, guys, when I say this is one of my top 10 favorite Disney albums to own. I have 4 copies of this album.
Really?
Yep, I have 2 on vinyl. This one in front of me is an original 1968.
Yeah, that's the original cover. Yes.
Yep. I have the Record Store Day release from a few years ago. I have this in my iTunes, and I have this on CD.
Oh.
This is... Words cannot express how much I love this album. This is in my top 10. This is one I've been wanting to do for a long time. Dan, how familiar are you with Louis Armstrong? And don't make me feel like an old man.
He's that comedian, right? Yeah. Oh, I'm joking. I know who Louis Armstrong is, not Louis Anderson. However, I'm going to be representing the layman here of someone that is not as how would you say, geeky?
You can say full geek, the Lord High Geek, the Alpha Geek, whatever kind of geek label you want to throw at me, I'll take it.
That's okay.
Let's just say you guys will have a lot more knowledge than I will on this subject.
Geekiness is a good thing. It's okay.
Everybody's geeky in their own way. I work in sports, and I remind these guys, as cool as you all think you are, you're just geeks.
Yes, that's true. Yes.
So this is an album from 1968. This is Louis Armstrong, Disney Songs the Satchmo Way. Chris, do you know what that's short for?
No, actually, I don't.
That is his nickname. It's Satchel Mouth. And depending on when you ask him the origin story of that, that story's changed throughout his life.
Really?
Yeah, he always had a different answer as to why he got Satchel Mouth as a name.
Satchel Mouth. Well, I would think maybe
my favorite comes from Drunk History, where he's hiding his tips in his mouth so the older kids don't take them.
Oh my gosh. Well, I was thinking a little bit more earthy than that, with this big cheeks from blowing his horn that he could carry stuff in his mouth, not just tips, but food. Oh, God.
Little Chip, little Dale.
Yeah, yes.
So Louis was one of the best singers and trumpet players of the 20th century. One of my all-time favorite musicians. My all-time favorite clip from Disneyland is from '63, and it's him singing on the Mark Twain.
Oh, yeah. Very cool.
So, Chris, why don't you start us off with side A? Let's talk about this record.
Okay, so the first track on side A is, and I never thought that in my life that I would enjoy a man singing the song, and then a man with a voice like Louis Armstrong, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. But it's so good. It just comes across like it was meant for him. What do you think?
I think you're right. I think there's only 10 tracks on this album, 5 on side A, 5 on side B, and each one sounds like it was made for him.
Yeah. How about that, Dan? A guy like Louis Armstrong singing
Anybody
Bibbidi
can
Bobbidi.
sing Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. It doesn't matter where you fall on the spectrum. Anyone can sing that song.
You know, I should have done my research. You would think in this professional podcast that I would have listened to this beforehand. But that is, if you have to give me like a million guesses of what the first track would have been, that would have not been in my million.
Right. Definitely. But it's so good. And it's like uplifting. It's such a great way to start this album.
Not just start this album. I think this lets you know from the start, this is a happy album.
Yes.
Every
absolutely.
track on this album is a happy track. No sad songs, no love songs, just fun songs all the way through.
Yep. Now, the second track is a song written by the Sherman Brothers, and it is from the longest movie title that I can think of off the top of my head, from the one and only genuine original Family Band, and it's called About Time. And that's another one that is just so good and so uplifting, and it's just a lot of fun.
And when I said there's 10 tracks on this album, 5 on each side, I should have said there's 8 tracks that everyone's gonna know, except for us hardcore Disney nerds. 4 on each side.
Right, because a lot of people have never even heard of that movie, let alone the song.
Dan looks like a deer in the headlights. Can you grab him?
Dan
back
is shaking his head.
In
What in the world?
I've said this before on the show, but before we started the show, I always thought I was the biggest Disney geek out there. And then I meet you fine folks, and I'm like, wow, like there's really a song out there that I've never even heard of before.
Wait a minute, Dan, are you hanging out with us because we make you feel cool? And not in the way that makes us feel cool?
Well, I'm sure you guys can say the same thing about some of my knowledge, hopefully.
Yes. Yeah, anything that's written by the Sherman Brothers, first of all, is fabulous music, whether you've heard it 100 times or whether you've heard it for the first time. So this was another great choice to put on here. So if you have not heard this song,
well, and it's also
you need to go listen to it.
Well, and these 2 tracks that from the movie that people don't know, very conveniently came out the year this album was released.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
yes,
good old
little promotion.
Yep. Absolutely. And the third track is, in my opinion, a great way to jazz up this particular character. And it's the theme song from Davy Crockett. I mean, Davy is definitely not jazzy, so this gives him a little edge to go in that direction.
Yeah, he covers it. And every one of these is a jazz cover, and it is a specific kind of jazz to, you know, mid to, how do I say, from the second quarter of the century, last century.
Yeah.
It's very much in that style.
Yes, very much so.
And Kris, how old were you in 68?
I was 10.
And Davy Crockett was still pretty big back then.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was still a big part of the culture. So
yes, very much so. So this, you know, it was very, even though the character Davy Crockett, Disneyized, was from, you know, back a ways, it still made it relevant to hear something like this being done in 1968. So
starting to regret picking this album, because now I remember being old enough to remember when Disneyland still sold Davy Crockett caps.
Yeah.
I'm going to wrap this up and go cry.
Just remember, I will always be older than you. Always.
You know what? In a year without a tombstone is a milestone.
That's right. Yeah. What do you think of this song, Dan? Somebody like Louis doing this. Isn't that amazing?
I mean, I listen, I'm a closet Davy Crockett fan. My dad, it's probably his favorite thing in the world. So, you know, as soon as Disney Plus opened, started, you know, right away, he had to come to my house and see what was on there. But I remember as a kid, and I even remember when, you know, a couple of years ago, just Connor, my dad, and myself went, and my dad had to buy him the, you know, the coonskin hat, you know, and, you know, it's just because it was just a part of my upbringing. So to hear that he did it like in a jazzy version, that's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Dan, I want to thank you for your bravery for coming out of the Davy Crockett closet.
Hey, listen, I think, you know, I've talked about this before, but Frontierland is my favorite land, you know, of all the parks and everything. And I think that has to do with it, because that's just how I was brought up with that kind of.
And when you go there, doesn't it always make you like immediately think of Davy Crockett?
Yeah.
I mean, like that's the first thing that pops into your mind when you walk into an area like that. So, yeah. Okay, so I got to tell you,
we can petition Disney, since they're going to change Splash Mountain. Let's just keep the one in Disneyland, Princess and the Frog, but let's make it Davy Crockett Mountain.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, as a girl, you know, when I was little, watching Davy Crockett, my friends would go, "You're watching what?" But I loved them. I loved the show because I watched it with my dad. So, yeah, I think this was a great choice to have on here. The fourth track on here, of course, Jay knows, is my favorite of everything that's on here. I mean, they're all good, but this is my favorite because it is from my very favorite Disney film in the whole wide world, Jungle Book, and it is Bare Necessities. And this song, you could almost say that it was written for this man. He just does such justice to this particular tune, even more so than a lot of the other ones on here. I absolutely love this one.
And another one where the film had come out just the year before. So yay, synergy.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's just so good. I love this one. So what do you think about this one, Dan?
One of my favorite Disney songs of all time.
Yep. Absolutely. Cool.
Kris, you have that in common with my father. That's his favorite Disney movie.
Yeah. Well, you know, I talked about the story when we did the one review of all the selections on the one, what was it called? The Ultimate Disney, that Disney one?
Ultimate Hits. Go back and listen to that one, folks.
Yeah, the Ultimate Hits. That, you know, I have my Phil Harris story because I met him. So this is like a favorite thing of mine.
And I said I remember him from the Jack Benny radio show. So again, we're digging this Jay's old hole deeper and deeper tonight.
He's not that old.
Oh gosh. So the last song on side A is another one that is just totally appropriate for his style of music. It was not a jazz song as it was written, but he really does give it that Satchmo vibe and really makes it even more special. And that is Zippity Doo Dah, which is a fabulous song anyway. But I just love the way that he does that on here.
Yeah, that song is up until recently just a Disney standard.
Yes. That it is.
So it's nice to hear it done in an old style since it is going away.
Yeah. And I love how in the song he says, listen to old Satchmo here. And I just love how he threw that in there to make it even more personal for him. So
yeah, he does a lot of riffing through the whole album. It's like they gave him the sheet music and a lot of freedom.
Yes. Yes.
So cool.
Yes. And we know that you love this song, Dan, because this is from your favorite attraction.
It is.
So, Dan, I got to ask, this is a sidebar, cue music. When it becomes Tiana Splash Mountain, will it still be your favorite?
I'm not going to say it's not going to be my favorite. I'm going to give an honest answer, and that is we will see. We'll see how the attraction is, and we'll go from there. By the way, I should have said this beforehand. I don't think you guys know this about me, but although I haven't done it in about 10 years, from the time I was about 8 years old to the time I was about a little over 30-ish, I was a drummer in a jazz band.
Cool.
And
Nice.
yeah. I was a drummer throughout, like a lot of things, but jazz was something that I maybe I don't want to say I don't like jazz music, so this is going to come out bad, but it wasn't necessarily like my style of music, but I was the best at playing it. So that's how I was always pushed in that direction. So it's funny because you guys are sitting here and immediately what I'm thinking of is sometimes what I think about when I just listen to Disney music anyway. And that's how I would play it in the drums in a jazz way. So it's kind of weird that, we're having these conversations. I'm going through it in my head.
So now you have to listen to this.
Yeah. And now I feel like you're holding back, dude. Come on.
It wasn't like I was on tour or anything like that. But
let's go next door to the Starbucks on Main Street. Get this guy an Americano with 4 espresso shots.
But through high school, I guess it was elementary school I started, and all through high school I was in jazz bands, and then I have a really, really good friend who's a very, very, very good piano player. He's pretty well known on Long Island here. And I was his first drummer, that's how he started. He started with me in my garage, and we played little gigs here and there on the boardwalk and the beach and stuff like that.
Yeah, very cool.
Do you ever dream about going back to it?
It wasn't the type of, I wasn't as committed as I could have been or should have been to really get good. I was, not to brag, but I think it was pretty good. But life happens and things happen, and it's that life is hard to keep up with,
Yeah, it is.
So, and
coming from the child of 2 entertainers, yes, it is very difficult.
And I just don't know if it was what I wanted to do in my heart of hearts,
Yeah.
But do I ever want to get a drum kit again and just set up my garage and kick people out and just play all day, all the time? I'm gonna have to wait till the kids get old and move out.
There you go.
All right, I'm 1 member closer to my GCT punk band.
That punk music. That's tough.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know who my drummer in the band is. So now there's two of us in the GCT band. No one knows about but me.
What? There's another drummer? Is that what you said?
No.
Oh.
It was just me in my head until now.
Oh, okay.
And now I know I've got a drummer.
Yeah.
So I am going to pull the needle back. I'm going to flip the record over. Going to put the needle back again. Ah, crap. I slipped, and now I have to pick it up from the side of the record where it's making an awful sound.
Oh, no.
Now I have to put it back down. And all is quiet. Here comes that pop and that hiss. And here's side 2. And side 2 of this album kicks off with my own personal favorite cover of this song, and that's When You Wish Upon a Star. The ultimate Disney standard.
Yes. It's so well done here.
The way he does it, I want to say the song has a twinkle in its eye, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
It's just a perfect, happy, wonderful, lovely cover of the song, and my favorite.
You know,
and it was a brilliant way to start out side B. So
I feel like I've definitely heard this version of the song. Yeah. Maybe in the parks. I mean, do they play these songs in the parks at all? Do you know?
Mm-mm. Well, I don't think
so.
They play not these songs, no.
I definitely have heard. I mean, it just seems in my head that they go together, the song and him, you know. And I must have heard it somewhere.
I love that you instantly associate him with the song, though. I love that.
Yeah.
I think that says a lot about who he was.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's great.
So our second track on side B is Whistle While You Work. Just a fun, bouncy track the way he does it.
Yep.
And I'm going to glide over this one because the third song on this album, on the side, is my favorite song on this album. It is the second one from the one and only Genuine.
We lost you, Jay.
You're freezing.
He had me like right there. I was ready to go. What's the song? What is it? And then,
oh, hopefully Jay will be back. Oh, good thing we can edit, huh? He's back.
Jay, it was like such a good build-up, and I'm like,
it was song. And he's like, well, what is it?
Where did it cut me off at?
You said you slide over that song and then you into your favorite one, and maybe you said a few more words, and then
I'll pick it up. Damn it. Okay.
Sliding over Whistle While You Work, you can say.
Okay. Ugh.
I know. Just you gotta get back into it.
No, it's my stupid internet. I bought a new router and a new modem and everything, and we're still getting stupid internet. Okay. But I am going to completely jump and slide over this track. I'm going to completely jump over this track and slide into the next one, which is my favorite song on this entire album. Just the happiest song on this album. The second one from the one and only genuine original family band, and that is 10 Feet Off the Ground.
Yes, this is so good. So good.
It's a song the song begins out with lyrics talking about, I want to meet the person who invented music and thank them.
Yes. Yeah. And again, it's like, this is another Sherman Brothers song. So, when the minute you see that it's a great song, because they didn't do anything that wasn't great as far as I'm concerned.
I don't know about you guys, but I always have a Disney theme parks playlist in my phone, handy for dog walks, dishwashing, things like that.
Yep.
Every single version I've ever had of my Disney World playlist starts off with 10 Feet Off the Ground. You just want to jump up, kick your heels, and run down Main Street.
Yes. Dan is going to go download this whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to put the link for this out. I think everyone should, and I'm going to say this again at the end, every single one listening, go out and get this from the Disney Music Emporium, this album.
Let me, I don't want to give too much away because I kind of cheated a little bit here, but I have YouTube Music, right? You pay like $9.99 a month. So I searched for it and I found it, but it's funny. The 10 tracks are listed in a different order.
They are.
Yeah.
They're on several different things. They're listed in different order.
This
is off the vinyl, the way that it's done. So yeah.
And I believe this one is $8.99 in iTunes if you want to grab it right this minute. Anyone listening.
Cool.
CDs are out of print, but they're pretty cheap if you want to find one.
I just hit the download button already.
I don't know if you listened to last week's episode. I went on my sidebar about giving up your physical media.
Yeah.
I haven't heard it yet.
Okay. I'm going to cut that and put that right here.
Yes.
Okay, so for our penultimate track on this album, we have Hi Ho from Snow White.
I love this version of this song. It's perfection, really.
Well, just like every track on this album, it is perfection.
Yep. But again, it's just so fitting for him. I mean, I don't know if he was the one who picked all of these songs to put on here, or if he had people saying, well, we think you should do this one. We think you should do this one. But whoever put this on here is a genius.
This is an album where unfortunately there's not a lot of making of notes on the internet. There's not a lot of. I've tried to research this, and it's really the only thing there is the letter on the back by Louis, which I'm not going to read you guys.
Yeah,
because we'll take all day. And we have a second show after this.
Yes, we do.
You're recording 2 today, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
And everyone's come on early, so I'm going to skip to the last track of this album. A song which could be very sad, very moody. It's done that way often, but Chim Chim Cheree in a happy note.
Yes. I think this is a fabulous way to end this LP. And honestly, it's so different. It's such a different approach. Like you said, it's not sad. It's not, like melancholy. It's a great way for him to adapt his style to this song and bring it up as far as emotions go. Not a downward kind of song. It's more happy.
You know how I know he must have done something with the song just by looking at the tracks on my phone is that the timing of the songs, all of them are the typical 2.5 to 3.5 minutes long. When You Wish Upon a Star is a little longer because that's a longer song. Chim Cheree, sorry, is almost 7 minutes long on this album.
Yes.
That's crazy.
The song has so much freedom as the last track. You just get to hear him play, and it sounds like he's improvising. About halfway through, he just kind of just runs with it.
Yep. Yeah, it's excellent.
Yeah, I'm going to put a link directly to this album at Disney Music Emporium. I have always loved this album, always will love this album. It's one of those, if I was stranded on a desert island and it could only have 10 Disney albums,
that would definitely be on your list.
It does what every good music cover should do. It reinterprets them to the artist style. And this artist just happens to make every one of them a fun, happy song. If you want to have like Disney vintage cocktail hour at your house, I would pair this with the Duke Ellington Mary Poppins album.
There you go.
You can have a fun Disney-themed cocktail party.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yes.
Why don't you have one of those, Jay, and invite me?
Yeah, we'll all come.
You should come over and we'll go through records one night.
Oh, without doubt.
That would be fun.
We'll make old fashions and go through records.
All right.
Guys, thanks so much for joining me in the music shop tonight.
Oh, thank you. I mean, this was.
We're
this
happy
actually,
that we're here.
This was really cool. You know, I'm never on these shows with you guys, but this was really cool. Thank you for inviting me tonight.
You should come do some more.
I will.
Yeah.
Awesome. We'll just talk. We should just like Dan and Jay talk music.
Who knows what the conversation will lead to, though?
Another GCT spinoff.
Yeah.
There you go.
You'd be like the Bill and Ted of music. I have to take my dog out. We have a second show to do. Passengers, thanks so much for listening along with us tonight. Rather than our standard outro, I am going to end tonight with that. I said my all-time favorite clip from Disneyland, anything clip from Disneyland, is Louis Armstrong singing on the Mark Twain in the 1963 episode Disneyland After Dark. And Louis is going to take us out. Thanks, everyone.
What do you say, Daddy?
Wonderful, it's wonderful.
Oh, man.
That's it. Just think of it. Imagine you being on the Mark Twain and welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
I know this seems like old times to you, don't it?
It sure does.
Well, you know, along about that time, Johnny St. Cyr was playing banjo in New Orleans when the blues was born.
Yeah, well, I was there to help to deliver it. Since all the cats are here, let's recreate.